Hey, everybody, and welcome to Lords of the Night. With me, as always, is your Lord of Punishment. Say hi, Scribe.
Hi, Scribe.
The Lord of Puppies is joining me as well. Say hello, SDA.
Hi.
Joining us tonight is the Lord of Proud Boys, Yosef Ozia. Did I say that right?
You said it right. It is me, Yosef Ozia.
And I am your Lord of Pain, the Ranting Monkey. How is everybody tonight?
I'm good.
Pretty good.
What up, my colonizers?
Yeah, there you go. The
Oh,
colonizers.
You know, if
for
you're
those of
gonna
you
say
who don't
hi
know,
to somebody,
Yosef,
Scribe, you should say hi to everybody in the group. Okay, you can't just leave out black people.
I didn't leave out black people. Black people colonized too.
Black people are not colonizers. It's white people.
Yeah, no, that's right. The very smart brothers advised us to use
Yeah.
as colonizer. Yeah, my bad.
Yeah.
My bad.
Don't be so exclusive. What's wrong with
I
you?
know. I'm such a horrible person.
We can be colonizers.
for the real quick, the people who were asking in chat, I'm feeling better than I was yesterday. Thank you so much. I appreciate the concern. Yosef hasn't been with us in months now, right?
Yeah, almost a year.
Has it been that goddamn? Wow, yeah.
Has it been?
The last time we had him on, we had a great conversation, and me and him ran into each other again on Worski Live last week.
Yes, it was really fun, if you can call it that.
Oh, that was such a weird debate. We can get into that more as we talk later. But if you guys aren't subscribed to Yosef, check out his channel. It is linked below. It should be the top link you see there. Do we have anything we want to talk about before we get into the news?
Not for me.
Monkey Dick, Jim Jones, movies. Hit that like button if you have not already, and share our stuff with everybody.
Share far and wide.
I can't think of nothing right now. I do. Well, I'm writing an article. Have you guys noticed about how it's weird that we can't criticize the little like David Hogg, all the little people trying to have gun control? Because every single channel that have talked about them have either got strikes or have gotten channel terminated.
Yeah, I have noticed that. I still want to do my own gun control video, and I'm not gonna lie, that has me a little worried.
So I'm actually. Oh, excuse me.
No, I'm still planning on doing that. I might let the heat die down a little bit before I jump in there, though.
Yeah, it's pretty smart. I'm actually writing an article. I'm writing for this one website because I was too afraid to criticize David. Like, I just got off of my strike. I don't want another one.
Understandable, absolutely. We can come back to this at deep topic time. I'm writing that down.
Yay, writing things down.
Yes, I'm so glad that we're figuring this out, you know, over a year into it.
Hey, I've wrote stuff down once or twice before. Scribbles, what do we got for top headlines tonight?
Well, let's see. I guess it's a bit of a top headline potpourri in a way, but I guess we'll start off with you guys like Trump?
He's all right.
Not today.
Not today.
Not
He
today.
was-
How I'm feeling.
He was doing some goofy stuff today.
Yeah, you got that fucking right.
So surreal Trump meeting on guns left Republicans reeling and Democrats optimistic.
Right? Like, that's not what we want.
No. Have you saw the picture of the Senate woman next to Trump? Like how excited her face was? I'm pretty
No,
sure
I haven't seen that. I read his statement and I was like, no, okay.
She had the soy boy smile. Like it was so excited. Like when Trump said like guns first, due process second, you can like see the joy in her face. It was crazy.
Let's see. Nobody knew quite what to think. After a wide-ranging televised meeting Wednesday at the White House, Democrats walked away stunned and with some tepid optimism that something substantial could happen on guns, while Republicans appeared flummoxed. And I'm getting an echo from somewhere.
Yeah, we're getting an echo.
It's not from me because I can hear it.
Oh, Yosef, you got headphones on?
Headphones, yeah.
You might just have to turn your sound down a little bit. That's normally what I have to do to fix an echo.
You still hear it?
Testing.
No.
Okay. After all, President Donald Trump had defied traditional GOP orthodoxy on an issue as essential to the Republican brand as any guns. And unlike earlier meetings where Trump has embraced bipartisanship without any specificity, Trump was explicit about what he wanted Wednesday. On camera, he pushed to raise the age at which an individual can purchase a rifle from 18 to 21, even after a weekend lunch with officials from the National Rifle Association who have publicly opposed the change. Trump called to expand background checks and told the House's Majority Whip Steve Scalise that a concealed carry bill would never pass attached to legislation to incentivize states to enter data into the National Background Checks database. Quote, I don't know how much clearer he could have been, and the whole country can watch it, said Minnesota Democratic Senator Amy Klobuchar. Democrats argued that Trump had power I'm trying to read this clearly because I'm not sure if I read it right. Democrats argued that Trump had power Democratic President Barack Obama never had. Okay, trust with the Republican base that he would not infringe on the Second Amendment. Quote, with President Trump, no one believes he will ever take their guns away, said West Virginia Senator Joe Manchin. But the impact of the meeting at the White House, which stunned some within the president's own party and puzzled aides back on the Hill, was still uncertain. Holy shit, one Democratic Senate emailed? I didn't know there was more than one Democratic Senate. Okay, thank you, CNN. One Democratic Senate emailed as they watched the meeting unfolding. I don't know, man, another Democratic Senate aide said.
I'm really glad that this is how they talk to each other. That just makes me happy. I know this is serious, but I guess politicians are sort of people too.
Let's see. So, yeah, it just kind of goes on for another page or two. I know that Trump said something about grab the guns first, due process after.
Yeah, he was like, get guns away from crazy people is what he was saying. And I'm quite surprised by this. And I mean, I'm just going back to what I've been saying. But part of why this is so frustrating to me is that it's not addressing what actually caused this fucking shooting.
Yeah.
And you can't just ignore people's constitutional rights and then have due process later. Due process is literally the whole one of the values that the entire country is built on. You can't just not due process.
Got an echo again.
Are you sure? You got an echo now?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Come on, man. This is the weirdest thing ever.
Yeah, I was going to say. Yeah. Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
God damn it.
Okay.
What? Hello?
Hello? Did you still have echo now?
Testing.
Yeah, no.
Okay. I was just going to say, as far as due process is concerned, we should have had the due process of the FBI actually doing their jobs ahead of the shooting, rather than, you could grab the guy's gun after you determine that he was the one making terroristic threats against a school. I don't have a problem with that.
Exactly, because that is a genuine reason to actually investigate what kind of weapons somebody has. You have to actually have due process. And the thing is that due process genuinely would have stopped this had the different law enforcement organizations gotten their fucking thumbs out of their asses and just done it.
Well, it seemed like it was they were trying to not have the school to prison pipeline, so there wasn't arresting or there wasn't arresting kids or going getting kids in juvie. So it seemed like you can blame this on Obama, kind of, sort of.
Well,
which I love blaming Obama, but it's really crazy that what Trump said. He's not my favorite person today. He's really not. Say bump due process, take the guns first, then afterwards.
Yeah.
You sound like a liberal.
You don't just ignore somebody's constitutional rights. And, I don't even and like I said, I live in Georgia, and I grew up not in a really rural area, but not in a not rural area either. And everybody's been shooting guns since they were 10 years old. So I don't even see the point of lowering the age. Only people over 21 are allowed to shoot up schools. Got it. Thank you. New rules. I appreciate that. It wouldn't have stopped this.
I just have a problem with pissing on the Second Amendment by shitting on the Fourth. That makes no sense.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, with the privacy where, because you also have people saying that like we need to be doing like mental health checks and stuff, and which would violate HIPAA, wouldn't it? Because now you're having access to people's medical records.
Well, if somebody's calling the police because you're acting crazy, then that's a legitimate reason to investigate you.
Yeah, exactly. That's different.
His statement that due process we can do later is fucking retarded.
Yeah,
it is just wrong.
Right now, Ben Shapiro's having a field day because of that. And Ben don't like Trump like that already.
He doesn't like Trump. Yeah.
Yeah,
he's just having a field day right now on Twitter.
You know, yeah, you can't just ignore due process. I mean, that's how you get a tyrannical government, is by saying it's okay to have due process later. That is just completely fucked.
Oh, let us also remember, Trump is not a politician. I think he was drunk today, because the stuff he was saying was just like,
must have been.
It made absolutely no fucking sense. Like, why would you say that?
He attacked Jeff Sessions today too.
Yeah, he was all over the place.
That's not new.
Well, sure, it's not, but this is what he attacked him over was should have been handled in private. There was no reason to take that to Twitter.
Yeah,
and that's what I woke up to is this tweet from him attacking Sessions. I'm like, what the fuck are you doing?
Yeah, I mean, sorry.
We're told he doesn't drink, so maybe they need to check the air in the White House because something was weird.
All right, somebody's upset with me, so I take it SDA doesn't like the no-fly list. What does that have to do with having access to people's medical records arbitrarily? Like when they haven't done anything that proves them to be a danger to anybody else.
The no-fly list is an absolute violation of due process.
Yeah. You got a super chat there, Monkey.
Oh my God, it's my channel. Fuck
yeah, it is your channel.
Thank you, Cryptic. Don't forget, Trump was a Democrat for most of his life. He's a Republican only by convenience, and his kids are full liberals.
Well, that's beside the point. When the guy who's in charge of the Department of Justice, so let's worry about due process after. This is the kind of thing that I was talking about right after the election, and Trump started saying things like listing Japan on our list of competitors or enemies or whatever in a speech he made before he was inaugurated. There is a line between what you're saying as sort of a private citizen and what you're saying from the office of the president. And Trump doesn't seem to understand that things he says can easily and sometimes justifiably be understood to be national policy.
Yeah,
and I mean whether he's expressing that to his fellow citizens, let's say, or what he's expressing to the rest of the world in the global politic. And today was just nuts. It reminded me so much of his early speeches before he got inaugurated, where he's just like saying things off the cuff without seeming to think about the consequences of what he might be suggesting.
I think the guy is just exhausted, to be honest, because they have been attacking the president a lot. And you also got to realize that Donald Trump watched a lot of media, so he probably feel in a certain kind of way where you have these little kids going on TV like, Donald Trump, this is your reason. These kids died because of you. You couldn't say that. You could have done this. And it's probably the lack of sleep, because this guy sleeps like 4 hours a day. I don't know how he works. And also, yeah, he watches a lot of TV, and so he's watching this like, oh my God, you could have said this, Donald Trump. Are you gonna do anything? What you gonna do to get these dangerous guns out of our hands? And I'm pretty sure Donald Trump don't shoot guns. I know his sons do, but I can't really see Donald Trump going out there and go hunting. He seems more like a golfer. That's what he does in free time. So he doesn't know that the AR-15 is the basic bitch of the hunting rifle.
Well, if he's going to be swayed in his rhetoric as easily with, essentially, emotional propaganda on television, I worry for what's going to happen next if he has another stressful day. It's just like, anyway.
Maybe we need to send Trump to go golf for a little bit, come back.
Yeah, I think we need to send him to the same rehab center as Kevin Spacey. Yeah.
I think we should let him bang another porn star.
Oh, you mean Hope Hicks?
Oh God, yes.
I mean,
that is presidential quality pussy right there. I'm sorry. Damn.
It's
am
funny
I not
because
supposed to say that?
the left thought that it's like Trump banged a porn star. Like, you think his base will be mad about that? Like, he banged he banged a bunch of porn stars and Playboy bunnies.
Yeah,
I don't know what the bad part of that.
John F. Kennedy set the mold for what presidents can get away with in their private lives, and people will still revere them. So, whatever.
That and Bill Clinton.
Yeah, I don't care if he banged a porn star. Really don't. I hope he enjoyed it. That's between him and his wife. I have nothing to do with it.
So, also on the gun front, sort of a side story, Walmart has raised the minimum age for firearm purchases to 21.
Why?
Walmart will only sell guns and ammunition to people over the age of 21 from now on. The company said in a statement Wednesday that it decided to review its firearm sales policy, quote, in light of recent events, unquote.
And there we go again. You got to be 21 to kill, people. 21 to kill.
That's what's so stupid is like, no. Like, you have to be 21 to kill people. It's kind of like when
unless you're in the military.
Sudafed, well, yeah, kind of like when things like Sudafed have an age block as well. It's like, no, if you're gonna make meth out of this, you need to be like 18. Otherwise, no meth for you. Like, what the fuck?
Let's see.
It's just dumb because banning things doesn't make that thing go away. Like, we banned alcohol one time, and we still had alcohol. We had names for people, making illegal alcohol. It's called bootleg or bootleg beer. Banning guns from like 18-year-olds is not going to stop kids having guns. Look at Chicago.
Yeah, no, it just means that the 18-year-olds have to steal the guns from the 21-year-olds. That's all.
Look what happened at Sandy Hook. He was denied the sale of a gun, so he just stole a bunch.
Right. Yeah.
You're talking about crazed motherfuckers who want to kill. You're not. Fuck off.
But here's the thing. This is a retail chain doing this. This isn't a law being done. So ultimately, all it is an attempt to sway liability should something happen again. Because if some 18-year-old or 17-year-old goes to Walmart and buys a rifle and shoots somebody with it, Walmart gets all the heat. So they're taking a preemptive step, more or less.
Well, that's what the title of the stream is about too, because Dick's Sporting Goods made that same rule.
Yep.
Oh yeah.
All right. And nobody's allowed to suck dicks anymore.
What? No, that's not right.
Some people, the left is really proud of dicks right now. The left loves dicks, especially dicks on women.
I'm just curious what the fuck they're thinking. Because they initiated a few new rules. They're not going to sell assault weapons anymore.
Mm-hmm.
It's ridiculous. You're talking to PR. Hunters.
It's PR. That's all.
It's bad PR.
It really is. I was telling my girl earlier, like, I have a Chihuahua. Now, if I beat you about Chihuahua, does this make this assault Chihuahua now?
It's an assault Chihuahua.
Hey, in fairness, all Chihuahuas are assault Chihuahuas. Like, let's be real.
Don't get me wrong. He's very underneath begging for my food, but like,
you got a super chat, monkey.
Thank you, Gregory Hurst. Mass murder is just a phase kids grow out of.
That's what video games are for.
Oh my god. Well, it's the message that's being sent. I mean, and I get it. Yes, you're right. This is absolutely virtue signaling by them. This is a PR move. And maybe Walmart can get away with that. But Dick's is a fucking sporting goods company. You're talking to mostly hunters.
Yeah.
If you see, it's like this, you are getting about 3-4% more people to like you on the left, and you're losing like 60% on the right. This is just not a smart move.
Well, people aren't going to stop shopping at Walmart because of this. I mean, the segment that goes to Walmart for guns is relatively low compared to everything else Walmart sells. And so when it comes to PR and having a foothold to avoid liability in the future, it's worth the quote unquote loss because Walmart's not losing.
You would be surprised how many guns Walmart sells at hunting season.
Well, I live in Georgia.
They do. They sell quite a number of guns, especially, like I said, if you're in the South or you're in an area that's because it's not just the South that has a lot of guns, but
No, the store that I used to work for, we are a big hunting store, and yeah, you would be surprised by the number of guns that go through that store.
I don't know. It just seems real crazy that Dick's like, you know what? I just want to say, fuck the right. You guys are dumb dicks. And that's all I want to say. Hope you guys come back to my store. Though you pay most of my bills. About that, how that virtual signaling do. And this is Dick's. Like, you're being your name. You're being a dick right now to the right. It's like, we want some common sense gun reform by banning assault weapons. And I tell people, what is assault weapons? Assault is not. It's not a noun. It's not a brand. Like the AR-15 is not the assault rifle 15. That'd be
like
dumb.
assault rifle across the side of the box or something.
That'd be dumb naming. It's like a raper say, "Yeah, my name is Raper Joe." And like, something's wrong with this guy. It's Armalite. It's a brand. But most people don't know what a AR, what it is. They think it's an assault rifle. It's really a glorified red.
Well, they think that AR stands for assault rifle. I've heard some people say.
Yeah.
Well, even with that, some people know it's not assault rifle and say, "I'm going to still call it an assault rifle." Like this on the left. Well, you just don't care about the truth, then.
Well, yeah, I mean, a lot of them don't.
Real quick, thank you. Nope. Dick stopped selling assault weapons 5 years ago. They're just capitalizing on a tragedy. They stopped selling it in their main stores. They still sold them in their field and stream stores, which is where they're stopping the sale. And thank you, Skaggles the Squirrel. Minnesota looking into the most ridiculous gun laws. I think most of what's proposed is ridiculous because it won't stop anything.
Well, make you feel better. Well, not us, because I like guns.
Let's
raise military to 21. Then I just I know like that you're saying that, and I've seen some people advocate that, but I think that's silly too. Just because the military does actually provide a lot of opportunities for people, especially like fresh out of high school that might not have a lot of other opportunities, and to close that stuff down would be wrong.
Be all that you can be. Get a messed up life and an ugly wife in the army.
Guys, I'm going to
do you always have to be a dick?
Down real quick, because I am having all kinds of problems. I will be right back.
Okay.
And that was from In Living Color.
Really?
Yeah, that was you remember the God, I forget the name of the character, but Damon Wayans played the homeless guy that was like always stumbling around drunk and everything. And he went to an army recruiting store, and he sang that song, and that always stuck with me for some reason.
I wish it was a living color of today, because I don't see that right now.
I don't know. Yeah.
Like, especially with leftists or even as modern day comedians, I found Trevor Noah to be funnier his outtakes than him on his show.
Oh, on his show, he's not funny at all.
No, he's not funny.
But like the outtakes, like in between the shows, it's actually pretty funny. I'll like, this is I can dig this. When it's not political, when it's just jokes.
Let's see. Okay, so this last one I had queued up is a little bit of a personal indulgence because it relates back to a video I did a couple of videos ago when I talked about immigration. I talked about the mayor of Oakland being very outspoken, saying that she would risk jail in order to defy ICE in their immigration efforts in her town. So ICE arrests 150 in Northern California and blasts Oakland mayor over her warning. Since Sunday, federal immigration agents in Northern California have arrested over 150 people alleged to have violated immigration laws, the U.S. Immigration and Custom Enforcement said Tuesday. Half of them had criminal convictions, according to the agency. In the same statement announcing the arrests, the ICE Deputy Director Thomas D. Homan also lashed out at Oakland Mayor Libby Schaaf, who had publicly warned of the impending ICE operations the day before it began. Schaaf had issued a warning on Saturday and held a press conference the following day, announcing that she had learned that ICE would conduct operations in the Bay Area. Quote, "I am sharing this information publicly, not to panic our residents, but to protect them," she said. "My priority is for the well-being and safety of all residents, particularly our most vulnerable."
Residents. What about citizens, you cunt?
Yeah.
Jesus Christ.
But Homan, that name is awkward. But Homan criticized Schaaf for what he described as her reckless and irresponsible decision. Quote, "The Oakland mayor's decision to publicize her suspicions about ICE operations further increased that risk for my officers and alerted criminal aliens, making clear that this reckless decision was based on her political agenda," he said. Yeah. And then Schaaf pushed back on ICE on Tuesday. Quote, "I do not regret sharing this information. It is Oakland's legal right to be a sanctuary city, and we have not broken any laws," she said. No, you just might have aided and abetted criminals. That's all. Giving aid and comfort to criminals on the run, I don't know what to tell you.
Well, that's not criminal. Oh, wait. Yes, it is.
Yes, it is. Yes, it is.
I got a question. This is something I noticed. I feel like I'm gonna say something really crude. I'm gonna use the N word with the hard R, so watch out. I think that illegal immigrants are the new house niggers of the Democratic Party.
They are. Absolutely. Absolutely. And that's what they're hoping for, is that they will all be brought into the country, that they'll get this amnesty, and who are they going to vote for?
The Democrats. So I'm sorry, man. I'm eating right now.
What kind of ice cream are you eating? Are you going to make me jealous here?
I'm eating a hot dog still. I had a
You eat slow as hell.
Well, yes. I don't want to get gas.
Oh my God.
And they also had a bunch of hot dogs. That's what my camera's not on. It was like 6.
6 hot dogs. Jeez.
Well, I'm a fairly big guy.
Yeah.
He's 6'3". That's a hot dog per foot.
Yeah, I'm going to save this. I might do a quick video on this story as a follow-up to my other video, because this is just ridiculous.
So
Robert says, "Yosef, you broke my eardrums when you said that word."
It's true, and I worded it that way to wake people up. Like, is like Democrats really don't give a shit about black people. They really never have a good shit about black people.
No,
but now they like, fuck black people. We need to get new voters because blacks are getting really tired of Democrats, which we are. Like, it's like the Black Panther leader. It's like, we need to stop voting for Democrats because you've been pimping us for 40 years. Some like 60 or 40 years. We need to stop giving you our vote. So like, they're banking on illegal immigrants. Like right now in Chicago, they gave illegal immigrants not ID cards, but Pacific cards where they can move around Chicago and drive. And with the car, you can vote. Illegal immigrants can legally vote in Chicago.
Oh, sorry, I was reading chat there. Paige says, "I can't even eat 2 hot dogs without getting full. Curse my short stature." I think the Democrats have been taking advantage of blacks forever. I think it's been a constant thing, going literally all the way back to slavery. There was an idea in slavery when the abolitionists were arguing that said blacks can't take care of themselves without whites. And we've seen that mentality all the way up through probably about 5 years ago, when we saw a huge shift away from Democrats being very concerned about, helping the Negro who can't help himself, to transgenders and gays and illegals. And I think it's becoming very apparent to some blacks that they've been taken for granted. And let's not kid ourselves. Obama never would have been president without the black vote. He just wouldn't have.
No,
and it's why Hillary wasn't president, because she banked on that black vote, and black people were like, "Fuck you, bitch." I'm not.
Well, Hillary was legit racist. Like, if you look at her past, like, she was best friends with Robert Byrd. She's on camera saying
her mentor.
Her
fucking mentor.
I mean, before he died, he was on like CNN. Like, I'm gonna use the hard R again. Like, That guy right there is a white nigger. And like what? This was like and then 2000. And this is him saying this. And Hillary Clinton and Barack Obama still was his funeral. He's on camera saying that that we have to pit these animals for heels. There's an article, a lot of people don't know this out, where she said she'll be disappointed if her daughter dated a black guy, Chelsea. And like, whoa, really?
Yeah.
So like Hillary is racist. Like, Hillary was banking on a black girl, and black people like, yeah, we don't really like you. And the main reason why I didn't vote for Hillary, because I was like, Donald Trump's kind of rough around the edges, so go with Hillary, is when she went on Breakfast Club and say, I got hot sauce in my purse.
Oh my God, I know that pissed off a lot of people.
Like, man, fuck. I'm not. Nope, not doing it. I'm not gonna do it. I'm not voting for this cunt. I can't.
Yep. And I'm really interested to see. 2018 doesn't impress me very much, but I really want to see 2020. I cannot wait to see who the Democrats decide to throw up there next.
I don't know. It might be Joe Biden, which is part of the establishment. Or,
jeez. Sorry. In chat, the Jack Cochran said, I'd be disappointed in the black guy for dating Chelsea. Oh, God. Anyhow.
That's not a very pretty face. Like, Bill Clinton was really cool, but he was just really, really cool. But Bill Clinton as a woman is like, oh, my God. Like, it's Bill Clinton without the personality. And Hillary body, which is like, I feel sorry for you. I really do.
Gregory Hurst, thank you so much. That mayor is acting crazy. Take her guns. Hey, there you go.
There we go.
Oakland mayor, give up all your guns.
She should feel safer without her guns.
Yes, we should all feel safer without her guns. Did we have any other stories, or should we move on to MSS News?
That's all the stories I had queued up, unless you guys got something else.
No, that's all I had. What you had is all I had, except for the Dick's Sporting Goods. I did do that one myself.
That was included in the Walmart thing. I just didn't get to that part in the story at all.
That's right. I stepped all over it because that's what I do. Guys, if there's a story you'd like us to take a look at or consider talking about on air, hit us up at #MSS News on Twitter. We can't get to them all, but we do the best we can. Thank you guys so much for helping us with this, because it really does give us something to talk about.
Any suggestions? Somebody just in the chat say, is any suggestions for my Illinois family members to take action with the new proposal bans? Oh, what bans? Proposed bans?
I would guess guns. I would say move.
Yeah, move. I moved from Chicago 10 years ago to Georgia, and it was the best decision of my life. Illinois is a shithole. Detroit's a shithole. Pretty much anywhere is a bunch of Democrats, it's going to be a shithole. Move to somewhere where it's really red. There's going to be jobs. It's going to be low taxes. It's going to be really nice people. It's going to be a safe neighborhoods. Just move. Don't try to fix a broken house. We have the saying in the industry: if a house foundation is broken, you just have to burn it down. And I think that's Illinois right now. That's Chicago right now. Illinois is going bankrupt. It has to be burnt to the ground before it can be built back up. Because there's no way of saving it. You have illegal immigrants who's there. MS-16 is there. People do all these crimes. You have all these black people in poverty. They all have to disperse from that area. They can't live there anymore. They have to go somewhere else where it's not that group, where somewhere that's doing good.
Well, when we talk about Illinois, most people think of the gun violence in Chicago, which is horrendous, but that state is desperately broke.
Yes.
And there's no fixing it. And we're talking money here, guys. They have no money. They have liabilities out the ass and no way to pay for it.
I called it 8 years ago. I watched the news every single day. I've been doing this since I was a kid. And two things I noticed. You're not getting to know two hot dogs, Max. My Chihuahua's begging. It's a big dog. He's a funny little dog. Two things I noticed is Chicago was getting taxed out of their asshole. It was really, really taxing the hell out of people, taxing on 1%, and there was no jobs coming to Chicago. And I made a decision like Chicago's going to go bankrupt soon. And at the age of 16, I left Chicago, went to Georgia, got a job washing dishes, and just since like from there, always had a job, been on my own ever since. Because I knew Chicago was going to crash. Like, is the richest leaving? When you don't have a healthy 1%, you never have a healthy economy. There's no jobs in Chicago, and taxes are extremely high in Chicago. We have some of the highest house tax, not house tax, but
Property taxes.
We have the highest property taxes in the USA. So it's like it's just a lose situation. I left Chicago. And
yeah, you're right though. Without like a healthy 1% or like a healthy middle class, you don't have people to hire poorer people, and it just the whole thing falls apart. So
that's what if you're trying to fix Illinois, the best thing you do is make it knock down faster, helping collapse the bastard as quick as possible so you can rebuild. Because it's no use of trying to fix a collapsing building. You just gotta let it go.
Alrighty, what do we got from MSS News?
Let's see. We got this one from Ninth Life Cat, or Shattered Cat 75. New York City must pay $180,000 to 3 Muslim women forced to remove hijabs for mugshots.
What?
Really?
New York City will have to pay out $180,000 to 3 Muslim women after forcing them to take off their hijabs for mugshots. 3 lawsuits were settled Monday in Brooklyn federal court, stemming from the New York Police Department policy of photographing people wearing religious head coverings. The 3 women settled for $60,000 each. Some cases date to 2012, when a high school girl, identified as GE, was arrested after a brawl with 2 other girls whom she thought spread gossip about her. GE was initially brought to a local police station and was told to take off her hijab. GE refused and was taken to a secluded room where a female officer took her photo outside the presence of any men, the Daily News reported. But at Brooklyn Central booking, the police could not accommodate the girl's religious needs, telling her that there were not any female officers available and that the camera is in a fixed spot. Thus, the mugshot could not be taken in a private room. The girl alleged that a male officer then took her photo without a hijab, making her feel, quote, exposed, violated, and distraught, as she was forced to be without the Islamic garb for 20 minutes while male officers and prisoners looked at her.
Are you fucking kidding me?
Nope.
Oh, fuck off.
Yeah.
Okay, one, I'm fairly certain it's against your religion to beat some. Well, no, you're Islam. Never mind. I have nothing else to say.
Yeah. What were they arrested for? Just out of curiosity.
She was arrested for beating up other girls.
Oh, right. You just said that. Sorry, I'm retarded.
So you're telling me that she was committing a crime. Therefore, she handed over her rights. She is now property of the USA government because she violated NAPA essentially, and because of this, she had to get booked in, make sure she's the right person. She is suing New York because she violated somebody else.
Yes.
Yeah, I mean, if you're beating up other people, I could care less about how comfortable you are. I'm sorry. Come on.
Let's see. Next one comes from Sorry?
That's an expensive 20 minutes.
Yeah, 20 minutes. Well,
should they really have to pay that much money for only 20 minutes of action?
Well, it's where the line is drawn on what you consider to be a violation of your religious rights. And I could see if someone said, "I'm going to have to take off your crucifix because we have to take a mugshot."
Nobody would give a fuck.
I don't think you'd get any money for that.
I don't know. I mean, if somebody made the case,
there would be no public sympathy
for someone getting their crucifix ripped off.
Oh my God, Jack!
Come on.
Not in the media, unless it's Fox News. I mean,
well, this was Fox News. I read the story,
and it wasn't ripped off, was it? I mean, it's not like they ripped it up. They just had her take it off. I mean,
well, if you force somebody to take off something that's a religious whatever.
I highly doubt if somebody's like holding her down, taking it off. bedding.
No, I did.
they
I
would
did.
just, like,
Okay.
take it
All right.
off.
All right. I my hyperbole on ripping it off was too much, but forcing someone to take off a religious item, like making a Jewish guy take off his yarmulke so they could take a mugshot.
Yeah, but the difference
wait.
is that with the mud slimes, you can't see their faces.
Yeah, that's
No,
kind of reason for the job.
Real quick, in chat, this has been brought up. If you're wearing a crucifix when you go into jail, they will make you take that off. It goes into booking and is held for you until you're released.
What, the mugshot stage?
Yeah.
No, well, while you're in there the whole time,
Yeah, you have all that stuff taken off of
when
you.
you're booked, they take that from you. They take your jewelry because it's a weapon.
Okay, so what about a yarmulke?
They would
I
probably
don't know
take
how they
that
treat
as well.
yarmulkes. Thank you, Sarah Pliers. 60,000 each for headwear. What was it made out of? On a side note, thanks for a good night as always. Love you guys. Love you too, Sarah.
Yeah,
Glad you found the stream tonight.
Sorry, and Mr. Unite for the Children said it, but a crucifix doesn't hide identifying characteristics like hair color. That's another thing, is that you're hiding part of your face and your head, and mug shots are taken for a reason.
Well, if that was a legitimate excuse, then why are they paying $60,000? This is what I don't
Because they're
understand. It's like
in New York, and it's a lawsuit.
Get it out of
And
the
New
way.
York is a very blue state. Like,
Yeah.
And a
I
lot
hate
of times
listening-
people settle. I mean, people settle lawsuits rather than going through the whole thing as well.
I'd appeal. If you set a precedent like that, you're just asking for trouble down the line.
Yes,
Well,
you
yeah,
are.
for sure. I agree. But
Anyway,
As the next person who does have to give up their crucifix has a case now.
right. Raymond Lewis sends us this one. Sounds like a movie title almost. Street artist erects 3 billboards over Hollywood. Quote, Oscar for the biggest pedophile goes to ...
Oh.
The conservative provocateur who calls himself Sabo, never heard of him, took aim at Hollywood days before the Academy Awards. With a nod to the Oscar-nominated 3 billboards outside Ebbing, Missouri, conservative street artist Sabo has hijacked 3 billboards in Hollywood to attack the entertainment industry for allegedly shielding pedophiles. Reminiscent of the signage in the Martin McDonagh film, which is up for 7 Oscars, including Best Picture, with black text on a field of red. 3 consecutive billboards in Hollywood sprang up Wednesday, each calling out the industry. The first one says, and the Oscar for the biggest pedophile goes to. Another one says, we all knew and still no arrests. And the third billboard reads, name names on stage or shut the hell up. Oh boy.
So
nice.
Until the artist who goes by the name Sabo, he already told us that, took over the signage early Wednesday, the billboards were legitimate advertisements. Yeah, right, blah, blah, blah. Yeah, so I wonder who will start making the Oscars their platform to... I wonder if somebody will name names. That'd be amazing.
So something about Sable. It's because I am the Lord of the Proud Boys tonight. You know that's a Proud Boy.
Is he?
Sabo?
Yeah, he's a Proud Boy. So when he hangs that stuff up, it's the LA Proud Boys doing that stuff. He's so like I actually saw the live stream of him actually doing this stuff, because the way he did it, he got the Proud Boys whose constructions, and they was able to get their equipment at night and to go up there, which is like it's all illegal, but no, they did it.
Let's see. This one comes from our favorite name, Mike Unstinks. Mike Unstinks. It looks like a Florida man story. Lantana man accused of attacking woman with chainsaw. Oh, good. A Lake Worth man is facing a charge of first-degree attempted murder after he attacked a woman with a chainsaw Tuesday morning. An unidentified woman about 60 years old, that's 60, just for clarification, was walking around 7 a.m. in the morning when Juan Carlos Cabrera Jr., 20, jumped out from behind bushes and attacked her. She underwent surgery and her injuries aren't life-threatening, according to the police report. However, her hand will most likely have to be amputated. God damn it. Cabrera Jr. said he slashed the woman 5 or 6 times with the chainsaw and would have continued to do so if the saw didn't stall on him. Why? Let's see. Lantana Police Chief Sean Scheller told the Post that this was a random attack and there is no connection between Cabrera and the victim. She said she thought Cabrera Jr. was a landscaper because he was holding a chainsaw, according to police. It's a random act. He did make a comment to the investigator that he saw the lady in the area, and then he stated, "I'm going to end this woman's life." So he's crazy. Keep him away from a Walmart. Oh, he's only 20. Wait, he's only 20 now. He's only 20. Sorry. He'll be fine. He'll be fine.
You know what? We have to ban high capacitor. We have to ban these weapons. Yeah, chainsaws. We have to ban them.
High capacity chainsaws need to be banned. Yeah,
they really do, because, and you know what? We should put a 21-year-old ban on any chainsaw use just in case, because he needs to wait until he's 21 if he's going to cut somebody's hand off. Okay.
I hate to be this guy, but what was his name?
Sorry, I've already moved past it. Juan. What is it? Juan Carlos Cabrera Jr.
So he wasn't white?
So the Mexican guy was attacking people with lawn equipment.
The Mexican chainsaw massacre.
I'm kind of surprised that this happened, but this one comes to us from Miggles. And are they going to stop me from reading it? No. Okay. The Southern Poverty Law Center targets feminist scholar Christina Hoff Sommers.
Yes.
The SPLC is at it again in a report on male supremacy, an ideology that the group says, quote, advocates for the subjugation of women, unquote. It included American Enterprise Institute scholar Christina Hoff Sommers, calling her someone, quote, who gives mainstream and respectable face to some men's right activist concerns, unquote. Christina Hoff Sommers told the Weekly Standard that she finds her inclusion in this report quite surprising. I completely reject that, she said. This is a group I used to admire. They once went after Klan members and Nazis, and now they go after people like Ben Carson and Ayaan Hirsi Ali. It's absurd. She adds that the SPLC has no evidence for the suggestion that she, quote, gives mainstream and respectable face to male supremacy. Quote, they're blacklisting in place of engaging with arguments. They blacklist you rather than try to refute you. Sommers thinks that, quote, they're talking about some of the work that I've done on boys. I wrote an article for the New York Times a few years ago called The Boys at the Back, and it won an award from a feminist organization. Yeah, so there you go. Christina Hoff Sommers, a harmless old lady, the SPLC says is bad.
Well, okay.
We'll look that up.
What is the point of the Southern Poverty Law Center reporting about Klansmen and all that anyway?
Well, so the SPLC in the olden days, let's say the 80s and the 90s, did serve a function that it didn't seem like law enforcement was actually doing. That was keeping track of white supremacist movements and militia movements and things like that, where the exposure of that kind of activity really wasn't on anybody's radar. They were keeping track of the Michigan militia and the guys that did Oklahoma City before it happened. Now, they weren't a law enforcement agency, so they couldn't have known or stopped it. But they documented, the numbers, the individuals, the movements. So some of it had some use back then, but ever since the 90s or so, when, the militia movement kind of dies off, and obviously the Klan isn't like it was 20, 30, 40 years ago, now they're kind of reaching out into places that don't quite fall within the lines of white supremacists and extremist groups, I suppose. I don't know. I
mean, right now we're suing Southern Poverty Law Center because they recently labeled the Proud Boys as a hate group, and the category is just general hate, which I don't know what that means. So it's really, I don't know. I don't know why it's there for. They say that we're just a hateful group. There are Christian conservative groups that are on the hate watch. There are pro-life movements on the hate watch, which is just, it's really weird. If you right wing, you're just a hateful person.
Real quick, thank you. Point.
Oh, sorry.
Thank you. Point curation. Headline: SPLC declares U.S. a hate group. Yeah.
Do you want to call it there since we're at the usual breaking point?
Yeah, we can do that.
Okay.
So let's move on to YouTube time. SDA, what'd you do today?
I didn't get anything done for SDA, the SDA channel today because I'm busy. I got some personal stuff going on. But I did post my second video to the Teresa J. Martin channel, and I believe it's in the description.
There's a link in the description there. Yep.
Oh yeah, it's under the link to my Twitter. So it goes over just like the cast of my novel that's coming out in April. So if you guys are interested in that, if you're interested in my book updates, what have you, go check out that channel, subscribe, follow me on Twitter there. And I also worked on some of the Patreon stuff for that channel. That channel does have a separate Patreon, by the way. So just for info. But I still am looking to do a video for SDA this week about the Parkland shooting. Probably not tomorrow because I have school tomorrow, but possibly Friday. So yeah, that's what I've been doing.
Okay. I will go next because I didn't work on anything today. Which brings us to Yosef. We're going to do you first because Scribe's going to have ads to read. So what's your latest video about?
Well, right now I'm working on a very large video on the rise of Larry Loomer.
Oh, real quick, let me get this. Gregory Hurst, thank you. SPLC calls out hate like a drunk Sith. Okay, so rise of Larry Loomer.
Yeah. So
now
I've been doing some research. Like I've been calling around a lot of people in New York. There's some of the tactics of Larry Loomer, and apparently Larry Loomer been doing this since like college. Like the whole secret cameras being a pain in the ass. Not her tactics. The fact that she's nothing but a tire fire of memes. So I've been writing this really large script. I'm getting all the clips. I'm getting all the footage. I've been watching Larry Loomer. I've been doing interviews in New York. Well, I'm planning to work on one max video on Larry Loomer. I'm actually going to start a series of the rise of Ben Shapiro, the rise of Steven Crowder, the rise of Mike Cernovich, Michael Jack. Because like I said, because the videos that I want to do, I'm afraid to do because I might get a strike again. I just got off a strike. So like I'm just gonna be playing it safe, and people I've been following for a really long time, I'm just gonna document the rise of this and bake off that.
Okay, I do want to ask I do want to ask you because I was watching some of your videos just to freshen myself up. You said you have an anti-DACA march coming up?
It's just next couple of days. This Saturday.
This Saturday?
Where's this Saturday. So it's in Atlanta. In Atlanta. Apparently, this.
Oh, really? It's in Atlanta.
Yep.
Sorry, I'm also in Atlanta.
If you look up my Facebook page, Ozia Media, OZIA Media, is posted there, and we found an organization who's pro DACA. They're funded by George Soros. Like I did the research. They are funded by George Soros. They are working with this revolutionary, I think like Red or Rim. It's kind of like a Tifa but more violent, where they actually fight against police and fighting against ICE. So we're going there to protest in front of the building and say, hey, we see you there. And I'm gonna live stream the whole thing. And the reason why I'm going to this is because Latinos for Trumps in Atlanta was helping out these kids for a really long time. And apparently how the law is set up is if an American commits any crime against illegal immigrants, they can get granted legal status in America. And that's what happened to this person who was for Latino for Trumps, where she had a bunch of illegal immigrants in her household. She's a very rich lady from Venezuela. She had a bunch of kids in the household, and this organization told the kids to lie on the lady so they can get legal status. So we're going into protest like, hey, that's not cool. It's really, really a mess up situation. Because specifically, if you live in Atlanta, you already know that there's nobody on the right that's really going out and pushing back against the left. The left is just kind of going at it without any resistance. And with the Proud Boys, even with this event, like I'm already doxxed. My face is already out there. My face is already in media. I can't, because I'm not afraid to put my face out there. I'm not afraid to fight against the left. I'm not afraid to be that lightning rod of hate, because I'm already used to that with YouTube. Like you can't, like I get catches worse on YouTube than in real life.
Yeah, I can see that.
So like, I'm gonna go out there and start fighting back against the left and say, hey, we see you. You can't keep doing this, and it's really a rallying call to the right. Like we have to come together on the right and start doing counter protests, because this is really sad. There is Blacks for Trumps in Atlanta. I have no clue who these people are. I don't know where Blacks for Trump's at, and I'm Black. No, I just hang out with my drinking buddies and occasionally go hunting, but I don't know where Blacks for Trump's at. I don't know where Latino for Trump's at. I don't know where Gays for Trump's at. I don't know where all these groups at, and they're in Atlanta. Georgia is still a red state, but we have to come back because the left is really pushing hard down Atlanta. They're tearing down Confederate statues. They're tearing down histories. They're trying to push a narrative of hate. On the November 4th rally, I was there, like undercover with a camera, and the newscaster came to me like, "Are you with the fascist side or the anti-fascist side?" And the fascist side was the Trump supporters, and the anti-fascist side was Antifa, the same group that doxed me like a couple weeks earlier and got me fired from my job.
Real quick, Point Curation says, good on you, man. Say what's on your mind. Speak what you think is true. Don't let people put words in your mouth. Yeah, I don't see Yosef letting people put words in his mouth.
No. And even with this, I guess I can announce it on this channel. The reason why I changed my name from Ozia Media to from Yosef Ozia to Ozia Media is I'm actually going to have a fundraiser where I can actually have my own media company in Atlanta. And to do more news-based reporting in Atlanta and Georgia, but also do some like mini documentaries of the right, like hunting, going out fishing. Some of these right-wing groups, like the young Republican parties. It's I refuse to let anybody to silence me, especially because I was a default Democrat. And all the information I have learned of the Democratic Party, like I can't be silenced because I can't let the left gain an inch. Because I saw what happened for 60 years, what it did to the Black community. I'm not gonna let that keep happening. My goal is to get every Black person a gun in a business. That's my end goal. Arm every Black person, get every Black person their own way to have income. Make sure they can have a household. They can be middle class. They have a strong family. That's what I'm advocating for. And the left is not advocating for none of that crap. Not a piece. If anything, not BLM, not Antifa, not the Democratic Party, not the DNC. They're advocating for a broken household. They're advocating for bigger government. They're advocating for overreaching government. And they look so down on African Americans. The other day, no joke, I can't believe this. The other day, a liberal told me like all the Proud Boys are racist besides the Black one. He doesn't have the power to be racist. Like, you mean the one in charge can't be racist? And I never I could be racist. Like, I never want to be like racist so bad in my life. Like, I could be racist. I could do this thing. I could totally be racist. What are you talking about? I have the power to be racist. But they really don't think that I have the power to be racist. In all honesty, if you ever meet me in real life, I make fun of everybody, especially Indians.
Scribbles,
I
you
think
made
the
a video
real
today.
question is, wait, hold on. I think the real question is, what kind of Indians?
Curry, not dot.
Dots or
There
woo-woos?
you go.
Okay.
Not dot, he said.
Not dot. Curry, not dot. But it's like that. If your food give me the spicy diarrhea when I got the butt sweats,
Oh my
I don't like you.
God.
Get the butt sweats. Oh my God. Scribe,
Yes,
you did a video.
I did.
I
Sorry?
have a question for you about your video. Remind me at the end of your video part.
Okay. Now we'll do the video part and then I'll get to ads. So
Yes.
I did a video. As I warned, I think the other night, it's a bit of a lengthy one. It's a half an hour. It was easy to construct in a sense because they never referenced any real like studies or things that I had to look up otherwise. So it was pretty much just me sort of reacting to what they were saying. And what it is, it's a panel of three representatives from three different companies, Guitar Center, Symantec, and PricewaterhouseCoopers, who are all, so far as the moderator says, in charge of diversity and inclusion in their companies in some form or another. And their little talk is ostensibly to talk about how they do what they do in their companies. And I'm always, as I said at the end of the video, I'm always fascinated by these things because I never hear the same thing twice from most of these corporate diversity officers explaining about what they do, because 9 times out of 10, they kind of skirt getting into specifics, because if you start pushing them to get more detailed on exactly what they mean when they say encouraging diversity and everything, they start to descend into areas that, so far as I can tell, and I am no lawyer, but to be, I guess, generous with it, starts flirting with violations of civil rights law, where you're discriminating employment practices on the basis of race, gender, sexual orientation, ethnicity, etc. So listening to these three people and the different ways in which they say a lot of words but don't really say anything specific for the most part. The Guitar Center guy got the most specific, and thus the most sort of like, okay, so you're telling us that you're using LinkedIn to filter out people who don't fall within the demographics you want to hire from. Okay, thanks for that. It's just like,
Yeah.
Anyway, so yeah, it's 30 minutes. It's a little long, but then I'm going back to my old stomping grounds of longer videos. I'll have a shorter one out probably tomorrow in this article, but yeah, so there's that. And Monkey, proceed with your question.
Well, we have 2 super chats. First Point Curation says, Scribe did a good video. People should check it out. I absolutely agree. And Claxton Meyer says, curry for a week really cleans you out.
Mm-hmm.
In a burning way. As I was watching your video, you've done this a few times where you talk about how vague they are. They just will not, tell you how they are diverse.
Right.
And as I was listening to the one today, I was wondering, do you think the reason they're so vague is because they know they're breaking the law?
Yeah, well, I can't think of any other reason than they inherently understand that if they say I'm in charge of diversity in my company and we have goals in order to reach a more diverse workforce, and then I would love to actually talk to one of these officers directly, but I'd say something to the effect, okay, how do you measure success in that regard? Because you can't measure success when when they define diversity as essentially anything that is not male, not white, not straight. The only way you can measure that is by the optics, by the visual. So if you say, well, as long as our workforce isn't too white, then we've achieved diversity. That's really the only. I can't think of any other conclusion to come to, given what they say, what little they say, and then how they sort of dance around it. Yeah.
Thomas Sowell, I don't know, pronounce his name. Soul.
Yeah.
Soul. He have a great video about this. How a lot of time diversity hiring, who shouldn't be there in the first place, is actually harmful, and it's nothing more than window shopping for other groups of that, other minority groups of that color or a gender or whatever.
Yeah.
Where they say, if you hire me because I'm black, but I'm not certified or I'm not qualified, I'm going to eventually going to quit, and then it's going to look bad on me, look bad on you. And it's just virtual signaling. And then even with that, it looks bad because what if you are highly skilled? Like I'm a highly skilled chef. I've been doing this for 10 years. You're going to question your skills. Like, did you hire me because I'm black, or did you hire me because my
you're injecting doubt not only into the workforce, but also I mean, there's one part in the video where the lady from Symantec, she points to McKinsey and Company, a study they did saying, and if you actually read the study, they don't actually say this, but people love to use headlines for studies rather than actually read them. But she says, yeah, I mean, the McKinsey study says that, more diverse companies are more successful. And so I pause and I say, so what you're saying is that you're telling us that you're advocating for hiring people on the basis of skin color. And in fact, that is a good thing for your company in a profit margin sense.
That doesn't make sense.
Yeah, no, it doesn't make sense. I mean, and you know, I kind of wrap things up by saying, look, it's the principle of the thing. Either we are operating in a world where we take people on the basis of their merit, or we're not. And if we're not, why do we want to promote that anywhere, whether it's business or otherwise? But in the case of business, we have pretty clear-cut laws saying what you can and can't do when it comes to your hiring practices. And everything that these guys were either implying or explicitly saying was leading to that. So I'm always amazed how these guys are up on a stage or at a podium and they're stating their either vague or explicit policies on how they're going to achieve diversity, and how all of these companies are not immediately brought under investigation for civil rights violations. Because it sounds like, from everything they're saying, it sounds like they're practicing, for lack of a better phrase, systemic discrimination. Institutionalized racism. I don't know. I don't know how else to go about it. And I'm not trying to sound like a conspiracy theorist or something, but honestly, that I don't know how else to look at it from what they're saying.
Real quick, Point Curation says it's more horrifying than you realize. I believe me, I understand.
Yeah.
But anyway, that was that. The other stuff I worked on today, of course, were ads from last night. So I have 6 ads. I will go over them in turn. So first, we have apparently, at least presently, the end of the road for the Nina Wilde and Eddie Chase books. This is the last of it hasn't even come out yet. So this book is not coming out until September of this year. So there was no caption summary for this book that I could sort of draw from to make an ad. So I kind of had to use my imagination to try to figure out like maybe what's going on in the novel. So Mr. Baker, this is sort of a vague best guess, given what I know about all the other books in the series at this point. Okay. Some secrets are better left undiscovered. Return to where it all began for Nina Wilde and Eddie Chase as the mysteries of a sunken city once again threaten humanity. An unexpected event alerts Nina and Eddie to an artifact hidden within the ruins of Atlantis, a legendary spear of power said to grant its bearer the ability to lay waste to entire cities. Now, it's a race across the globe to find the spear and keep it out of the wrong hands. Hands that may just be attached to someone closer to Nina and Eddie than they could have ever guessed. Read the latest entry in Andy McDermott's best-selling adventure series, The Spear of Atlantis, available in September from Mr. Baker Publishing.
Dun, dun, dun.
Dun, dun, dun.
Good one.
Dun, dun, dun. I have the best one, just saying.
Next, we have William Savage wanted an advertisement for fictional rare metal tooth replacements, which is like, it was odd, but I went with it. Do you grimace when you think about your grin? Become paralyzed when you picture your pearly whites? Bad choices in your dental hygiene, such as too many sugary drinks and weekend-long meth binges, can have damaging effects on your teeth and your self-esteem. That's why William Savage Dentistry invites you to give your masticators a makeover with Myth Mouth. Myth Mouth tooth replacements are made from only the best rare metals. Choose from adamantium, carbonadium, nth metal, unobtainium, and sauronite. And for a limited time, get your Waka 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 special. Waka Waka Wakanda special. Vibranium bear fangs, just like Fozzie would have. I fucked that up. William Savage Dentistry and Myth Mouth will make your cake hole unbelievable. Okay, and then
real quick, breaking news. Stan Lee is battling pneumonia.
Oh no!
You better not.
Oh fuck no!
At his age, that is not good.
No, that's not a good sign. Okay, well, fingers crossed that Stan pulls through. We don't want.
Better not.
Yeah, we have way too many Marvel movies left for him to appear in. So
Anyway, sorry.
Okay, Corey Suzuki wanted the My Tide Pods drink. Corey Suzuki's Booze Bar introduces Memonades, alcoholic beverages based around fleeting internet fads. And today's offering rides the coattails of the internet craze that's sweeping emergency rooms around the nation. The Mai Tide. This intoxicating mixture of cacao, lime juice, and a colorful laundry detergent tablet is sure to set your senses on fire and possibly induce respiratory arrest. So make a date with Corey Suzuki's Booze Bar and choke down a Mai Tide. It'll get you drunk and keep your whites white and your colors bright.
Nice.
Let's see, two more. Sweeper Steven wanted the superhero Roots movie with Kunta Kinte and Toby.
Oh my God.
So
thank you so much for paying for that ad because that made me laugh more than it should have.
Oh boy, here we go. In 1750, Gambian native Kunta Kinte is brought in shackles to America, a slave to a wicked plantation owner. Forced into labor among others of his countrymen, Kunta Kinte is hiding a secret that could free them all. For Kunta Kinte is the living avatar of Tubuli, the Aardvark god. And on the day Kunta Kinte is being whipped into submission to take on the name Toby, his powers activate, covering him in an impenetrable shell. Now, with impervious skin and a mission of freedom, the former slave travels the roads of the early American South, helping those he can and punishing those who would make people into chattel. Sweeper Steven Studios brings you a reimagining of the classic novel using the Marvel method of filmmaking. Roots, Advent of the Aardvark.
I love it.
Nice.
I was wrong. I had three more. Okay, so next one comes from Point Curation. He just wanted an ad for some delicious fruit of my choice, basically. So, the humble kumquat. The juicy balls of goodness with a name that sounds like a sex act, but is actually derived from Cantonese for golden orange. Made famous in the Tailspin episode Sheepskin Deep, kumquats are a hardy citrus fruit native to the South Asia and South Pacific regions. Packed with vitamin C and conveniently sized to fit in your pocket, you can fill your pants with kumquats at any time. Point Curation brand kumquats. Make the O in your O face stand for orange. I'm getting an echo?
Trusted flaggers.
Hello?
Nope, I think he's talking in the background.
Oh.
Hey, Yosef?
Hello?
Excuse me? I'm sorry. I think some breaking news has happened. God. Oh my God.
What?
Man. Andy got a strike.
Horsky?
Worski got a strike?
Yeah.
Oh, shit.
Wow.
I'm really not surprised about that. Honestly.
Community
Okay,
strike, I assume.
Yeah, he said, well, this has happened. And apparently somebody strike one of his channels, one of his old videos of him criticizing Franny.
Oh. Hold on. Let's put a pin in that until we get these ads done. We just got a couple more and then we'll jump right over.
I got one left. So Snub Earth wanted an ad including kumquats and kumite. So I think I found a way. In a remote jungle of mystery and danger, each year a tournament to the death is undertaken by the world's greatest underground fighters, the kumite. But this time, the ancient competition is offering a prize so rare, so unbelievable, that gallons of blood will be spilt in the journey to attain the adamantium kumquats. Jean-Claude Francois stars in the ultimate showdown as fighters of every discipline known to man battle it out to the death in Bloodsport 3, Kumquat Kumite, a Snubber 13 production.
All right. Well done.
I stumbled over that. Jean-Claude Francois.
I'll be right back, guys.
Okay. So Andy got a strike. We got YouTube drama already. Andy got a strike.
Yeah, this is big YouTube drama. I feel honored to be here. 'Cause
I'm honored.
Because
Yeah,
it feels a little good. I'm pretty sure ranting is feeling pretty good.
I'm kind of surprised it took
I'm
this
not.
long, you know, because
I told you so. Like, and that's what I was like when Bangladesh got a strike. Like, Monkey was right. They're coming from us. They're coming. Like Monkey was right. He's not gonna see this. We can pay him some money. Monkey was right. Wow.
Well, I take no joy in being right because I don't want Andy's channel struck. I don't. This essentially kills what he's doing right now because with one strike, you cannot stream for 3 months.
Yeah, I feel bad for him, but it was
because I watched just a little bit of the video while Scribe was finishing that last ad there. He got struck for an old video. It's not even for what he's doing now.
no, but that's what they're doing right now. Because this and you made the case where like they will find a bunch of old videos and take you down because they did it to PewDiePie, and they did it. That's how they took down PewDiePie. They took a bunch of his old videos, took it out of context, and then they basically like, hey, look at all this stuff on all this stuff. Now, if Andy Worski didn't have, because he was going to have David Duke versus like David Duke and two other alt-right writers versus some liberals, like if you bring all this attention to yourself, it's going to be a good chance they're going to try to take your channel down.
Yeah,
they did it. They did Alex Jones. Alex Jones is one strike away from having his channel terminated.
Yeah, this was the point that I was making is not that because honestly, I don't give a fuck if they want to do their blood sport stuff. And as weird as I think it is that Andy would actually host David fucking Duke of all people, this seemed a no-brainer to me when you are platforming the alt-right. And let's be honest, basically unopposed. And I know, yes, that we have people on there, but other than Halsey, most people just roll over. You're going to get your hardcore leftists out there who are like, no, we're not going to let this happen. And this sucks. I see people in chat, you know, I don't feel bad I feel bad for Andy. This is how he makes his living.
No, as a YouTuber, I feel really bad. It sucks not being, and I just got off for 3 months banned from live streaming. It really sucks because that's a form of money that you need sometimes for, especially if you're a smaller channel and if you're not breaking those numbers, like super chats, dear Lord, if you were watching somebody live stream and you can just toss $2, it helps out a lot. Trust me.
Super chats are pretty much like would have allowed me to get more equipment to grow my channel and stuff like that. Like, you were funded.
Real quick, remember, guys, Weibo was going to be on Worski this Sunday. That would have been a lot of exposure for her.
Oh yeah.
So this sucks for her too. It's not just Andy that's affected by this, and yeah, I want you guys to think about the fact that 2 of the 3 people that they keep talking about blood sports have now been flagged.
Yeah, it's the third one is going to be flagged eventually.
And
who is the third one?
Tonka. The people that get talked about. Yeah. The people get talked about with blood sports are Andy Worski, Baked Alaska, and Tonka Saw.
Okay.
The thing about leftists, oh, sorry.
No, I was just saying, and now 2 of the 3 of them are unable to stream for 3 months. This is a fucking liberal platform. What the fuck?
I like I said, I do.
Liberal ain't what it used to mean.
Yeah. No, it's not. No, like I said, my friend, like CV, she's a writer for Medium. And she watched the Richard Spencer debate, and she was writing an article right now on Andy Worski, so it's going to happen eventually. Like especially for stuff I do, with these leftist writers, how they operate, because they're usually extremely broke, and they're looking for a hit piece where they can make a lot of money from. And the biggest talking points is the alt-right and these new conservative movements. The conservatives was fighting back like Trump. So it brings them joy to shut down a channel like that, and they will take you out of context to do it. And this is what I'm trying to tell Andy. Like with mainstream media, if they can take you out of context, they will. And the longer you talk to them, unless you're repeating the same thing, they will use that to take you out of context. Like I've been on interviews for 2 hours straight about Unite the Right, and I just gave the same answer until they gave up and like, there's nothing of any use of this video. We wanted you to slip up. Like I'm gonna say the exact same thing. But with blood sports, where anything goes or anything can happen, it just gives them more fire to the flame. And all they're gonna do is go through your back category. And if you've been on YouTube for a while, you're gonna have a pretty huge backlog. They're gonna find some video and get it to strike that video down.
Real quick, thank you, Nope. I bet Weibo's debate partner is trying to get out of the debate again. Yeah, so he flagged Andy's channel so he doesn't have to debate Weibo. And Mr. Bone says YouTube's a lot of things, but liberal isn't one of them. I'm using the term liberal as in modern American liberal. If you prefer regressive, if that helps you get it better, there you go. Yeah, and Weibo says apparently they're moving the streams to JF's channel. I figured that it would be what they would do, but JF doesn't have the audience that Andy does.
No.
Yeah, and JF's just as vulnerable.
Yeah.
He's even more
Probably
vulnerable.
more so.
I was just about to say that. I mean, like, he's a retard fucker who's alt-right, whether he likes it or not.
Well, he's an admitted white nationalist, so whether he calls himself alt-right or not,
it's kind of like
boat.
It's kind of like if you're okay. This is a really extreme example, but like if you're eating people and you're like, I'm not a cannibalist, okay? I just know how the cannibals feel.
Yeah,
and agree with their lifestyle.
No, it's kind of like that Vice hippies were like, I'm not a pedophile. I'm not a child molester. I'm just a pedophile.
Yeah, right. Or like, I'm not like molesting them. I'm just into free love. Like, all right, shut up. You shush. We have labels for a reason, sir.
Scrappy says JF will have the audience, and not necessarily.
Nah. All of Andy fans are not going to go to JF's channel.
Well, not all of them will. Okay, so like, there's a lot of people who are pretty casual as well, where they're just kind of like, oh, Andy's streaming. All right, I'll watch.
Yeah.
So there's going to be so many people who won't even know that this has even happened, which is going to be the big issue because you're going to lose a lot of your audience that way.
He had to go back making videos right now, and at the end of the day, there's not a many bedroom feminists to rag on. Now, Franny videos are always fun to rag on, and there's plenty of videos to rag on her because she's going at it really hard on Facebook. But this is no longer 2016. Those videos don't get the clicks as it used to. And Donald Trump's in office. It's so much melting happened after Donald Trump was in office, like it doesn't even matter anymore. Like we got the madman in office. He's the ultimate troll, the ultimate triggering factor of the left. Like you can't out trigger Donald Trump in office. So I do feel sorry for the guy, but like, come on, you had JF every single stream, and then even like, was he there when we talking? I think he hopped off. We talk about how to get the ethno state, and I try to explain like having a state to break off from America is really, really hard. You got to have 2/3 of Congress in the House, and you have to have 49 of the other states to say, yeah, you can have this part of America.
Yeah,
that's really, really hard to do, to convince 49 other states to give a state just for white people. Like you have to convince them to do that, and get 2/3 of the House and the Senate and the president to be all alt-right.
Real quick, Mr. Baker asked if there was an update on the Tree of Logic stuff. If there is, I haven't seen it. She was supposed to release a video today, but I don't know if she did. So I apologize. I'm not up on that. Yeah.
Tree of Logic, but used to be not doing porn, but a lot of weird stuff.
She used to be a dominatrix. Yeah.
I can see that. She's a very tall woman. I met her in real life one time. She's taller than me. She's
taller than you? Damn.
She's a very tall woman.
And she's built. I mean, she's not a waif of a woman. I'm saying if you are going to pay a woman to degrade you, she's probably a good choice. I'm just gonna throw that out there.
She's because she walks around with a big ass Glock on her fucking side. She's very tall, big old fake titties. She's just, I don't know, and even her personality is just kind of overbearing.
Yeah.
I'd be terrified to have sex with True Logic. I don't think I can get it up just out of fear.
Nice.
Oh my god, that's funny.
I'm sorry, he won't come up. I'm sorry, ma'am. I'm trying my best. I really am.
Weibo, I am really sorry that happened because I know you finally. Weibo's been trying to get this debate scheduled for more than a week now, and it already got canceled once, and she finally got it. And Sinatra got a strike as well on his streaming channel. So they moved it over to Andy's, and now he has a. Maybe there's something to this. The guy really doesn't want to debate you, Weibo. Everybody's getting strikes because nobody wants to debate Weibo.
So even with that, it was the second part is YouTube clamping down on the right and also the edgelords of YouTube.
Oh, that fucking video with Wojcicki pissed me off when she's talking about free speech. And actually, Boogie made a comment today that pissed me off about free speech. I just want to say that if you say, I believe in free speech, except you don't actually believe in free speech. Even I don't believe in absolute free speech because I do think that if you talk somebody into killing somebody, I believe you should go to jail for that. That's my only exception. But Boogie made a comment today that free speech has become more of a liability. I'm like, what the fuck are you talking about? Let me get the exact quote. I don't want to take him out of context here. I want to make sure.
I love you, Boogie, but come on, man. Don't go full libtard. Don't do it. Like the only person I really
a super damaged man. Okay, you know what? He's a nice guy, but he's kind of a damaged manlet. Of course, he's a liberal. Come on, like everybody knows he's a liberal.
I know.
You should love him in spite of his massive flaws.
I still love him. I love his videos. I'm just not gonna listen to him on something about free speech. Like he's a massive libtard. One person I do watch. I don't know if you guys watch him. I watch him every single day. Is Philly DeFranco.
Yep, I watch Philly D every day, like religiously. And if he's like 2 minutes late, I'm like, "Where's the video? I'm gonna die."
Okay, here's Boogie's tweet. It says, "I'm a huge fan of freedom of speech and all that it entails, but I won't lie. There are some people who make that less of a freedom and more of a liability. Kind of wish some of you were more responsible with that freedom."
But then it's not a freedom.
But then he had the freedom to get blown up to this huge weight that he is right now. Also have the freedom to also lose all that weight and get a surgery. So it's just one thing about America is absolute freedom. Like if you want to become, like I said, if you want to become a fat ass, you become a fat ass. No, I have tattoos all over my body, and I have the freedom to get tattoos. I'm not even making joking. I have the words "fuck" on my back. It just says "fuck," F-U-C-K, no context, just those words. And I have the freedom to have this dumbass tattoo on my back that I got when I was drunk.
I have a problem when we start. And this is what I've talked about this before. Most of the problems that we have with regressive, political correct bullshit doesn't come from your radicals. No. It comes from people like Boogie, who is just a nice guy who's going, you know what? Maybe sometimes we shouldn't be so mean. Like, no, fuck you. It's words. It's words. And if you are that pissed off about words, stop listening and let the rest of the grown-ups talk, because you obviously don't possess the mental capacity to be having these fucking conversations.
Yeah, I mean, I get that, being mean is mean, but I don't give a fuck. I say that as somebody who will back the fuck out of a bitch on my channel, but that's different.
No, the weird thing is those such thing as online bullying, because you can always turn off the phone or turn off the comments. If like on YouTube, on my channel, I don't let the hard R N word pop up. I don't do it, because if you call me that, it's gonna be bad. It's I'm not hearing that. You can try to put it up, but it's not gonna go through. But it's like I don't have to have a YouTube channel. I don't have to have an opinion online. Like, I chose to do this. It's the weirdest thing about the internet, where it's like, well, I chose to go on this platform, and people criticize me for something that I chose to do. How dare these other people just criticize me for having an opinion? Like, you have an opinion. Everyone have an opinion. nobody agrees on the same thing. Nobody. No. Me personally, I think tacos is a crappy food item. Now, I said it on Facebook. I was drinking one night, and I feel like tacos are a crappy food item, and I lost 30 friends the very next day.
Tacos are life, man.
But that's my opinion.
Them's fighting words. I had tacos for dinner. No, I'm just fucking with you. I did have tacos for dinner, but yeah, if you don't like them, that's your business. Guys, it is the bottom of the hour, and it is your time. Questions, comments, concerns, things you wish we talked about and didn't. Don't forget, if you have a question, make sure you put a question mark at the end. It makes it a lot easier for us to identify. It makes it a lot easier for us to be able to identify that. Sometimes you talk to each other, and that's great. But
he's a French coward. I didn't like what JF. His accent is so fucking cool. Like you understand, he just had a really cool accent. I mean, his ideas are crap.
Jean-Francois. How I love Jean-Francois.
My favorite thing about Jean-Francois was him freaking out, and I forget who it was that did it, but I think maybe in Kraut, but said he was racist because he was making fun of the French. Like, the French aren't a race, dumbass.
Yeah.
Anyway,
the French might disagree with you on that one, but
this is also a funny thing with the alt-right. I don't get, like, why people in Europe don't see themselves as like European, or see like Irish. You can't get an Irish and somebody who's French. They're like, yeah, we're the same thing. It doesn't happen that way. It's really, really weird. I don't know. This is my 2 cents.
Jack Cochran asked, did your friends work at Taco Bell? I never had a friend who worked at Taco Bell. I really didn't. I had friends who worked at Arby's.
Arby's sauce.
Data Wasteland asked me if I got any leftover dinner tacos. Yes, I did. Actually had a taco salad. And is a monkey eating a taco racist? No. Now people are craving tacos in our chat. SDA, is your book fiction or nonfiction?
It is fiction. If you go to the link in the description, it's SDA's author channel. I have 2 videos on that channel so far, and both of them are about my book. So pretty much any of the questions you have about it are answered in those 2 videos. And if you have any other questions about it, you can ask me in the comments of those videos. But yeah, it's fiction.
Point Curation asks, is it worth me risking my job to talk about things that horrify me? Dude, if you have something to fall back on, otherwise, no.
Yeah.
You need to eat. Yeah.
The workplace is one of the few places where it's completely legit to self-censor for the sake of your own personal survival.
I have the big 3. If you want to be successful, don't talk about religion, don't talk about sexuality, don't talk about politics. If you do those 3, you're gonna be good. And the problem with today is everyone wants to talk about politics, who they fucking, and then how do you feel about Islam?
Yeah. I understand why you would want to. I do. I am somebody who has a hard time keeping my mouth closed. But you got to take care of yourself first, man. Can we hook Christy Winters up with Boogie? Why would you want to do that to Boogie?
No.
Besides, Christy's mine.
Yeah.
Christy, are you listening to me?
Oh my God, Monkey, stop it! Why?
I will bang the crazy right out of you, baby.
You go ahead and do that. Man. You got it. That's all you, man.
I'm telling you, I could make her sane.
Data Wasteland SDA, does your soon to be out coloring book come with its own crayons? It's not a coloring book, so no.
I wanted the chat have any question about me. I'll be welcome to ask.
Oh yeah, guys. Yosef here isn't shy. If you have questions for him, ask.
I'm not talking about that.
Did we ever ask him about tongue buttering turtle caves?
No, I think that came after he was here. And okay, we have 2 questions for you, Yosef, that everybody who comes on the show has to answer, okay?
Yep.
Okay.
Number 1, is cereal soup?
There's a correct answer to this. Don't fuck it up.
Is cereal soup?
Yes.
Yeah.
I mean,
He's having trouble with this one. Most people.
No,
have a
don't do
response.
it. Don't do it. Don't you do
I
it.
mean,
No.
technically, yes.
Thank you. I win again. I win again. That's all that matters. Okay, and number 2, how do you feel about tongue buttering turtle caves?
Tongue buttering turtle caves?
Yes, would you like to guess what that means, or would you like us to just tell you?
Oh, I already told him.
No. You tell me what tongue buttering turtle caves?
Tongue
No,
butter
what is-
is a euphemism for saliva, and turtle cave is a euphemism for a butthole. Where do you stand on licking butthole? We're a serious news show, guys.
I'm gonna guess all butt stuff, and I got a really disgusting story of why I don't deal with the butt.
Oh no.
It's really, really bad. If you guys
Me and
want to,
Yosef, we are on the same level right now.
all right. So I'm gonna tell you the worst butt stuff story ever, and reason why I don't do anything with the butt. So when I was younger, well, younger than I am right now, still a young guy, I want to do butt stuff with a female. I had no clue what I was doing. And I was able to convince one girl to do butt stuff with me. So what I did is I Googled how to do butt stuff, and you had to use lube. So of course, all right, I got lube. But me being a dumbass, I didn't really read the instruction. I didn't read all the things you got to do to prepare for the act of doing butt stuff. So I'm trying to be PC so this channel don't get flagged. So I start the first act of lovemaking as a good person, because it gets really worse. That's why I'm trying to be PC as possible. The first act of lovemaking. So like, all right, no, I'm doing that.
If it helps, we call snatches here. We call them smush cookies or snoochadoodles.
So I'm almost done with this smash cookies.
No, smush
Snatch cookies.
Smush cookie.
Close enough.
You use that word too. So I'm almost done with the smush cookie, and I go back to the back door. So all right, it's lubrication. So I guess just use as much as possible. The more, the merrier. So I pour half the bottle on my man part, and all right, well, I got more lube, so I'm gonna stick the other half up her butt, which was a huge mistake afterwards. I learned. I started doing the act, which this is different. It's kind of grainy, it's kind of tighter, but it's whatever. And I got really excited, as a young man usually did, and I accidentally, like I said, I had no preparation. I didn't know you're supposed to clear out the butt beforehand. So me being excited, I accidentally pulled back too far, and all right, whatever. And all I felt was warm liquid come down on me.
No.
Yes, and the smell of too much Axe and also her poop hit my mouth, hit my nose, and I don't have a strong stomach. So I threw up all over this girl's back, all the way up her back. And the smell hit her nose. And I swear to God, I say, did you? And she throws up all over the bed. And that just made me throw up even more.
And ladies and gentlemen, that is why we don't lick ass.
Yes. So that's garbage for life. I had to pay somebody to clean my room because I had carpet.
My God!
I threw out the bed.
That's even worse.
Yes.
And we have a new contender for worst sex story ever told on this show. Real quick, thank you, Mr. Baker. Any updates on the Walmart stream? I worked at Walmart last year as a cart pusher, and I'd like to hear some stories from someone else. It is still something I'm planning to do. I just got to get the stories. I have to make myself some notes so I can do it. Yeah, I'm with Weibo. That's when you just move. You just fucking move. Leave all your stuff there. Wow. Yeah, burn it to the ground. Isn't that what you told us earlier, Yosef?
Yes. I mean,
just burn that shit to the ground.
My girl got mad when I said that Chicago needed to burn, and she's like, and then afterwards I explained the financial situation in Chicago and Illinois is, It's the whole state is going to go bankrupt.
Oh my
This
god!
is the other day was a spice.
Satsu says, "You belong here, you sick bastard."
Gregory Hurst. Oh my god, I'm sorry. I'm just gonna read the super chat for you. Other than that, was it a nice date?
I mean, the first half.
It's all good to that last half. Okay. Oh wow.
That's amusing. I'm sorry.
Oh god, that was awesome.
God, I'm really glad that something kind of outshined the Assassin's Creed story.
Let's see. I'm sure we missed some questions in here. Let's scroll back. That was an awesome story, though. How did you like that video? Is cereal soup? I liked it. Somebody sent me that before too. And I was halfway through watching it before I realized I'd seen it before. Let's see. You know what? I am gonna tackle this question. Range says, why can't Black people ever preserve anything or take care of their own communities? Why no good nations ever? Black people can. What you're probably talking about is inner city bullshit, and there's a problem when you, if you've ever been in a suburban Black neighborhood, they tend to take care of their houses better than white people do. At least when I was growing up. I mean, these are people who worked 3 fucking jobs to be able to afford a house for their kids, and they took care of that shit. The problem is when people don't have any ownership of the house or the community, and there's they have no, so they don't care what happens to it.
I think that might also be a reference to African countries as well, because I've heard it both ways. Either like they can't take care of their shit in inner cities, or look at Africa, it's a dead continent. And there are plenty of socioeconomic and just geographical reasons why Africa did not develop the way the rest of the world did. One of those reasons being that Africa has an abundance of natural resources. And when you have an abundance of natural resources, and you don't really have any, well, this is a oversimplified explanation, but one of the issues as far as development goes is that because you don't have to really innovate to more effectively use resources because you just don't need to, then it just doesn't drive innovation. It doesn't drive conflict, which of course means that you don't have a whole lot of nation states popping up. It's a bunch of really complicated factors. Something that we don't have a whole lot of time to go into, but yeah.
Setsu say Black people can take care of stuff. Niggas can't. No, but even with that, I was in South Africa, and South Africa is a shithole. And I got in trouble on Facebook saying South Africa is a shithole. But my neighbor went out and caught a zebra and brought the shit back and was cooking up a zebra. So you can't do that in Europe, I don't think.
Well, like you can catch and eat zebras
in South Africa. Yeah, all animals is not safe in Africa. South Africa. I have ate some really weird things in South Africa, like a lot of animals you see on Lion Kings.
For the record, for people who are talking about South Africa was a shithole when white people were running it. Look it up. It was not some glorified Western country. It was still a shithole. No. It's worse now, but it was never great.
Zebra soup is cereal.
Oh dear God, zebra soup is cereal. You guys are awesome. Let's see.
One thing I kind of found was weird when people like, how come there wasn't no LGBT representation in Black Panther? Like, and I was like, and I tweeted that like, I mean, it's still Africa, you know.
That was so stupid. Like, they were fighting for their lives. Nobody had time to have gay sex anyway. So like there might have been a gay person there. You don't know. They were busy fighting people. God. Like, and they all looked fabulous, so somebody was gay.
I mean, it's still Africa. Like they're not too keen on the gays over there.
That's true.
Oh look, Tail's here. Fucking moo.
Hi Tail, what the fuck are you doing awake?
Goat thrapple.
Did you hear Yosef's story?
I don't think so.
You're gonna want to go back about what 10 minutes, guys? Oh man. Okay, next question. From 1 to 10, how weird do you think white people are for our obsession with wild animals? I think white people are weird for our obsession with animals, period. You have people running around calling their dogs their children, which is okay, but then actually treating them like it. And that's just fucking weird. They're dogs.
I mean, like, my little Maxie is my baby. I don't give a shit.
Yeah, Yosef's been around white people too.
I raised Jinx, excuse you, and he's about to be a year old, and I'm fucking devastated because he's all grown up. My baby's all grown up, and he's not a little baby anymore, and I'm so upset.
What's the breed?
Jinx is. We got him a DNA test. He's like half Chihuahua, pit bull, boxer, and just mixed. He's
How
like,
did the Chihuahua get in there?
What?
How did that Chihuahua get in there? I want to know who was on who.
I'm pretty sure that Chihuahua had to be the dad, or else like that poor Chihuahua died. Because everything else is like really large breeds of dogs. He's an interesting looking dog because he doesn't really have a whole lot of long fur, but then like you get to his tail, and his tail is super fluffy.
If anybody want to have a fun time, look up Chihuahua mix, like Chihuahua mixed with pit bulls. It's the ugliest little bastard you've ever seen.
Yeah, he's actually cute. So we got the cute side of that mix.
Sarah Plyer wants to know how work was, Scribe.
How work was?
Yes, how was work?
Yeah, they care about you, Scribe.
Oh,
Don't be
well,
so
I mean, it
weird
was
about
the
it.
month end, so it was a lot of paperwork, a lot of billing. It's more like mentally taxing than it is sort of like stress taxing, because there's a lot of I's to dot and T's to cross, and so everything thankfully got done and nothing blew apart, which is kind of rare, but yeah, it was fine. It was a day. It's over. I don't have to worry about it for another month.
What do you exactly do? If I may ask.
I work in information technology. That's as specific as I'll get.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Well, it's more important than what I do. I work in a Home Depot in the electrical department, which is just a glorified version of saying I tell old people about lights. This is all I do all day. Because
sorry, thank you, Snubbearth Monkey. You have a nationalist tard in the chat. Say hi. He's the one who asked the question about why black people don't have nice neighborhoods, and he's upset because I said South Africa was a shithole, and he said no other country was any better. You should check out Egypt. Egypt has a lot of nice places. You are aware that that's in Africa, right?
Yeah. Well, there's one thing I see about white nationalists is they like, well, Egypt's not really Africa, you know, it's kind of close to Europe, so we're gonna claim them. It's like it's the same arguments with black people, like we was kings. We was king. Yep, exactly.
Like, I'm sorry, but I don't know if you've noticed, but Africa is like a massive fucking continent.
Really big.
It is huge. Like you can explain a lot of reasons why a lot of the sub-Saharan states are the way that they are, but historically, Egypt and just pretty much anything that hugs the Mediterranean has been very prosperous over the years. I mean, Egypt is like, it was, you know, it's not the cradle of civilization, but it's like this pinnacle of ancient civilization. They did pyramids and stuffs.
But even with that, I just want to make one point.
Yeah, go ahead.
Egypt had this really, really huge library, and Alexander the Great came and burned down this library. All this knowledge was all clicked in Africa. So that's just a fact where like it was a lot of knowledge that was gathered from African countries, because the Egyptians did a lot of trade just overall. And Alexander the Great came there and burnt down these libraries. And
and that's all very important, because the knowledge and cultural exchange around the Mediterranean, so the Middle East, North Africa, and of course Southern Europe, that was a big deal. That pretty much ran ancient society. And then of course you had the trade in the Far East that kind of developed separately. And I mean, all of that's really interesting. And I wish that in high school people got more in-depth world history lessons to just see how all of that actually works, because it's clear that most people just don't have an understanding of global politics.
Thank you, Kingsley Abrokwa. You should address Range in chat. He seems to have a very different opinion on South Africa. Could be interesting. South Africa was a shithole when whites were running it. It's been a shithole pretty much since the British colonized it. Go back and look through. Find me the big glowing cities. They don't exist there because it's a fucking shithole and always has been. The best it has been is a trade stop that most people don't go to because it's at the tip of fucking Africa.
Yeah, that's the weird thing. Like, it's people like it's like, oh, Africa is. Don't get me wrong, Africa is very beautiful. The food is amazing. To watch them kill animals and cook them up right there, the food is very delicious. I'd much rather be poor in America than rich in Africa. Fuck that shit.
Yeah. Oh yeah, I read an article back in it was in the 80s. There was some, I think it was in Newsweek. A Newsweek writer who had been, one of these back to Africa guys went over there, and he wrote this really great story about how going over there changed his mind about ever fucking going there again. He talked about, like bodies just floating down the fucking river and nobody cared, and just what squalor it was. And he's like, no, fuck that. I'm never going back. Yes. Could Africa eventually modernize into a Western world? It could, but it's not going to because of the political climates over there. It has nothing to fucking do with race. Okay, I'm moving on. Let's see. What else do we got? We got 10 minutes, guys. 10 minutes for your questions. What's wrong with Antarctica? It has never gone to war with anyone as far as I know. Yeah, those ice boats don't last too long. Okay. American Salt says, are you talking about the Alexandria Library?
Yes.
Yeah. Haiti is way fucked up. Yes, and you can thank the Clintons for that. No, you can thank you can thank a lot of people for that. They're just the latest in the line.
Have you been to Haiti before? Have you seen pictures? And have you seen the pictures of Haiti? It's when Donald Trump called it a shithole, like, and I'm like, yeah, that seems pretty accurate. I can see that. I can see him saying that. Like, not the nice parts of Africa. I mean, it's not Africa of Haiti, but like where the people at.
Yeah. Well, let's be honest. It's very much like, and people aren't going to like this, like Mexico. If you go to Mexico and you go to tourist towns, they're fucking beautiful because that's where all the money is spent. And you go to the rest of the country and it's shithole shacks everywhere.
Yeah.
Isn't eating a taco a term for lesbians? Yeah, eating a taco is a term for licking pussy. Yes, absolutely.
Yes.
But that's not what I was doing. I was actually eating a taco.
Literally?
Yes. Well, actually, it was a taco salad, to be honest.
A taco
do you toss the salad afterwards?
I don't toss salad. I don't lick butt. We don't.
I was about to say, did you toss the taco salad? What?
With your friends, nobody will see this. Trust me.
Guys, what other questions do we have here? Do we have anything coming up that we need to promote while we have a moment here?
Next Monday, starting next Monday, on Mondays and Thursdays, we'll be on Satsu 2 Cents channel. Satsu is taking over SDA's spot on the Lords of the Night trio. SDA is taking a break and focusing on other stuffs.
Nice. I love this channel. I wish I could talk to him one day, because originally my name was My 2 Cents, and then I realized that he had his channel. I'm like, shit, I gotta change my name.
Oh, you never talked to Satsu?
Never.
Well, he'll be joining us starting next week, so we'll have you on again so you can chat with Satsu. Nice. He's fun to talk to. Data Wasteland says the Library of Alexandria was burned down by Caesar's troops during the siege of Alexandria in 48 BC. They're saying Alexander didn't burn the library; it was after him.
So
okay,
all right.
The library was burned down. Shit was lost.
Shit, it was a lot of knowledge was lost. A lot. So I got a question for a YouTube question. What do you think the direction of YouTube will going at right now? Now that we know that there are censoring conservatives on YouTube, even on Twitter and Facebook, because a lot of people get in there, like their argument, like this is a bot account, and people like start getting banned for being bots. Like Big Daddy Alex Jones himself, the living meme. No, Big Papa he's on his last strike. Like they gave him almost his last strike on the same day from David Hall, from this kid.
I think the future of YouTube, I think they're going to move into Netflix territory. I think they came out swinging with what's it called, Cobra Kai. How successful that is for them, because so far their original series have all been bullshit done by YouTubers who probably shouldn't be in front of a camera that way. I'm not being mean. They're not professional actors, and they're trying to act, and it's harder than it looks.
I don't.
But we saw them bringing in basically a cable channel. They're now a cable channel. They're going to start doing their own programming, and the rest of us are just going to be tolerated as much as they want.
Do you think that YouTube eventually, if they change out the CEO, that there'll be a future for the right on this platform? Like they will start actually like pushing Ben Shapiro videos or Steven Carter videos. Not Stefan Stefan, because I think he ruined his option. But do you think that eventually they will actually like find a conservative they will agree with or disagree with, and they will promote this channel? Because
promote the channel, no. I think if you had somebody of Bill O'Reilly's stripe doing stuff here, they wouldn't have a problem with it, because he kept his nose pretty clean with what he said on air. I think a lot of what happens with conservative YouTubers is that they say things they shouldn't say based on very arbitrary fucking rules. And as long as those rules are that arbitrary, you need to keep your nose really fucking clean.
Yeah. But my problem with that is almost kind of like you had to concede grounds to really, I guess, not impressed, but play on the leftist playing field. And once you concede that ground, you already have lost.
I don't necessarily agree with that, because I think you can still play within their field and in their rules and get a message out. Like I myself need to stop calling people cunts when I'm making videos about them, and just make the good argument. You can still make jokes and stuff, but you have to be very careful on how you're doing it. And I've gotten away with a lot of stuff. Most of my videos get reviewed. They're manually fucking reviewed. So I know people at YouTube are seeing it. And other than one age restriction, the worst I get is, content is not suitable for all advertisers, which I can live with. Advertising doesn't pay shit anyway. Before we go, there was one question specifically for you, Yosef.
All right.
Where'd that go? I'm sorry, whoever asked this, I can't find the question, but they wanted to know what are your favorite 3 movies, and the first 2 don't count.
My favorite.
What's your favorite movie?
Do you really want to know? It's really corny, and my girl hates it. It's Trolls.
Mine's The Lion King, so go for it.
It's Trolls, the movie.
Oh,
Trolls is awesome.
It's a good movie. I like it.
Thank you. Oh my god, I'm trying to tell people.
It's a fun movie. Like if you want to do a happy dance, it's a good movie to watch.
I prefer Troll 2.
Oh, not Troll. Trolls.
No, Troll 2. What's wrong with Troll 2?
It's Troll 2.
Yeah.
No, the movie Trolls is awesome.
I like
my granddaughter loves it, and the first couple of times I saw it, I only caught bits and pieces. I'm like, what the fuck is this weird shit? But then I sat down and watched it. That movie, I fucking love that movie.
Yeah, it's a real feel good movie.
Branch is awesome.
Yeah, that's my all-time.
I love
my
him.
favorite movie. I can watch that movie all. I can and will watch the movie over and over again.
Yeah, I also like The Croods. That's a good movie too.
Harbos Marbo says, "I've lost respect for you, Scribe. Shame on you."
What? But Troll 2? What?
Troll 2. Oh, let's see. What else do we have here? Yeah, Kingsley Brokwell says, "I have other shit to worry about than my skin color." You and me both, man.
Yeah, same here. Right now, the alt-right. I made a joke earlier, and let's close out. I made a joke about the alt-right is like a pizza cutter, all edge, no points, and the alt-right is all attacking me right now. So one of them like, "Hey man, I bet you like lower taxes." They're like, how is that a bad thing? I don't know what you're doing. Yeah, man. You trying to impress white people while you like lowering taxes? Like, no, I have a business. I work in food. Like, I get taxed out of my ass. Like, I got paid $3,000 a year just to like serve food. I don't know where you're coming from. So,
I'm going to say this. You have pissed off both Antifa and the alt-right, so I think you and me are going to be pretty cool for a while. Because I hate both of them fuckers too. But guys,
excuse me. Go ahead.
No, go ahead. Go ahead. Because I'm going to wrap it up. So
I have articles about me from Antifa and alt-right. This brings me joy.
Guys, thank you so much for joining us tonight. Thank you for the donations. Thank you for tuning in every night to see the silly shit we say. And I apologize for anyone who has nightmares about Yosef's story tonight. Scribe, SDA, a pleasure as always. Yosef, thank you so much for joining us. And yeah, I will have you on so you can talk specifically to Scribe because he is great to talk to. So
I'm right here.
He's awesome.
Sorry, Satsu, not Scribe. God damn it.
Oh yes. I appreciate you coming on your platform. It was wonderful.
I've only fucked up twice tonight. I think that's pretty good with the amount of medicine I'm on. So with that, guys, your life makes me sad. We'll see you next time.
Bye, guys.
See ya.
Bye, guys.